Welcome back, everybody, to the Cool Stuff Games Maitland January Premier Challenge. We have had grueling battles back and forth, and only 2 trainers are left standing, ladies and gentlemen. And Landon, what a way. What a way, huh?
Yeah, what a way.
For the first Premier Challenge here in Orlando for the 2024 calendar year, we have 2 amazing trainers that have fought their way through our top cut bracket, and now they are 1 win away from calling themselves a champion.
Yeah, first before we, talk about the 2 players that made there, let's talk about how we got here, We got our whole 6 Swiss rounds, we had all these players luckily to make our top cut. Some new, some old that we've usually seen, and, Brady storming through like usual. He's only dropped 1 game at all today. Wow.
That is very impressive. Through 8 rounds, only 1 round did he need a game 3.
Exactly. And then we see Janice. She's another good player in Florida. She's been playing for a while, and she 2-0 in her top 8, 2-1 against Patrick, who we've seen on our stream already. So this should be.
And Janice came into the bracket as a 7th seed too.
Exactly.
So there's no 1
a
versus
first
7.
and 7th seed that's insane.
Essentially, this could be a potential. Like, for reference, we'll just use it for like sporting and everything. I was trying to get it right. Like, it could be NFL, could be a 1 seed versus 7 seed, or NHL a 1 seed versus 7 seed. Even though they don't really have 7 seeds anymore in that.
Yep.
But it's stuff like that. And Janice and Brady are getting ready to get connected for our finals, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take one more look at Janice's team. And honestly, Landon, I don't know if you've seen Janice's team, but it's
good.
fire.
It's good. So Janice, first off, she got top 64 at Knoxville Regional last year, and back in 2017 at the Georgia Regional, she got top 16. She knows what she's doing.
She's been around the block a time or two,
Yeah.
and to get top 16 is no small feat in and of itself. But we see her team sheet. She's got that Pelipper with the wide guard strategy, the Terra Ground, Terra Blast, Iron Crown, Scarf, Terra Steel, Urshifu Rapid Strike, and this combination.
And look at her with her Pelipper right now, yeah.
And she's got the Pelipper out
got
there.
Her support.
And she's got the Archaludon with Psychic Seed and a Psychic Surge.
Now that's interesting. It's not even Assault Vest, it's Psychic Seed, and that is really interesting for her team.
And then, of course, her Sinistcha is also Eject Pack with Leaf Storm.
Really interesting team overall, and, it's genuinely one of the most unique ones we have. Brady, we've gone over his accomplishments as, many a time he's a very good player here. But Janice is running, the typical Rain and Size Spam that we usually have. Brady, his team's up right now, He's got his Trick Room mode. He's got good old reliable Fluttermane with Specs Protect, crazy tech.
I know, right? But then again, I mean, he gets Terra Fairy and somebody tries to knock off those choice specs, then suddenly he can protect.
Exactly. So this should definitely be a very good match, and
and one of these 2 trainers is going to win our finals. That's what's most important, is that one of these trainers is going to be the champion for the first.
Don't let the layout deceive you. It is, in fact, the finals. Don't worry. You are tuned in at the right point for the finals. So, and so now, there it is. So, this should be a pretty interesting match because Janice has several different modes she can use. She has Rain in several different ways. She can use her Psychic Terrain. It might not just even be used for Size Spam. It could just help our Archaludon.
Yeah, because I mean, while it does help out the Iron Crown with its expanding force.
Oh, help out. It relied. Yeah.
But also, when we look at it, Brady doesn't have a way to go around that Psychic Terrain. He does have the Trick Room mode.
Yep.
He does have that. However, he doesn't have a way to remove the Psychic Terrain.
And Janice's Indeedee actually does not have Trick Room at all. It has Helping Him Follow Me, Psychic, and Heal Pulse.
But the Sinistcha is packing the Trick Room.
The Sinistcha is packing the Trick Room. I overlooked that. Yep. And, like we said before, Sinistcha has Eject Pack. Isn't that lower to stat, it switches out?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the Leaf Storm is for. So once it uses the Leaf Storm, headed back out the field, something switching in.
Yep. And that could probably be something with like the Archaludon or the Iron Crown on the field. as we're going to get into it, guys. Brady Smith, Janice Lee, one of them is going to be our finals champion. And we see the side spam lead for Janice on her side. Mel Brady leads the Ogerpon, Wellspring, and the Farigiraf.
So definitely not too much of a surprising start. Brady's been using Farigiraf. He's been piloting it very well. I think we can all agree on that.
And we see the booster energy speed.
Speed. That is interesting. Usually it's for special attack, you know, but
Which does give the appearance that this Iron Crown is not max EV'd in special attack.
that is true. It definitely is not maxed in special attack. Because do you know that even if it's maxed in both special attack and speed, and it's timid,
It gets
it's
special
still
attack.
a special attack, yeah. So it's just goes to show that there's not as much special attack investment as one would think.
You are exactly right there, Landon. And we're going to see what Brady tries to do in the face of this expected expanding force strategy. As we do see a switch out from Brady.
Is it into the Incineroar for a...
It is
the Incineroar to block that. So Janice actually went for a Psychic on that Incineroar slot, but now it's not going to do anything because Incineroar is a Dark type.
But it does affect the Farigiraf here. And
Not doing too much as it's resisted and it doesn't have the special attack breeze.
But therefore, the Farigiraf now gets that Trick Room up and it twists the dimension. So now this Farigiraf and Incineroar are the fastest Pokemon on the field.
Yeah, it's definitely Brady is already turn one in a great position, getting his Trick Room up very nicely, and we'll see. Oh, Terra Ground possibly.
Looking
going
at
into
activating that Terra
Incineroar.
Orb here because with the Psychic Terrain up, Incineroar cannot go for that Fake Out. It can go for the Snarl potentially, but it cannot go for the Fake Out, which is why that Helping Hand might actually help out here. No pun intended.
As a Snarl user myself, Snarl misses so much. So if it misses on Janice's team, it would be very helpful
And
for
we see
Janice
in-
in this moment. So does the Snarl miss? Who does it miss? No,
it doesn't miss any
Oh, I
of them.
thought
It does
missed.
get
That
the
lag
special
does
attack
get you.
drop.
That lag does get you.
But that Helping Hand, we'll see if it does enough here. Here comes the Hyper Voice.
Oh, and that's a lot. That's a decent amount of damage because it's no longer resisting that Hyper Voice.
Exactly, and now we're going to see this Helping Hand, Terra Ground, Terra Blast into this Incineroar with the Assault Vest. Will it do enough?
No, that Assault Vest is making it so
wow,
bulky.
that is huge.
Wow. That is, Janice is not in a very good position early in this game.
That is amazing. It barely broke a sweat.
Barely at all. So now we're seeing, is there a way that Janice can pull this out? Because this good of a lead is usually what Brady does. He gets himself in a good leading position. He gets himself comfortable at the very beginning of the game, and he just wipes through the rest. So is he going to continue that?
We see Indeedee go for the Heal Pulse here. So Indeedee is actually one of the slowest Pokemon on the field, but however, Incineroar going for Snarl.
Dropping that special attack.
I'm very curious about this Farigiraf here.
Its Hyper Voice is going to do a lot of damage. It's definitely taking out the Indeedee.
And it brings
It brings Iron Crown back to what it was before, even lower than that.
But we see the Terra Ground, Terra Blast come out. It didn't get the Helping Hand this
No
time.
Helping Hand and 2 Snarl drops. It's not going to do as much. Oh.
Not doing much at all there. But Pelipper is now coming in. Janice is bringing her mascot, Pelipper, out.
She's bringing her little plush buddy in, except it's a little different because it's shiny. Look at that green.
That is a decent looking shiny, I would say.
It is a decent looking shiny. I would agree with you there.
But we do see that there is the Wide Guard as a potential.
Wide Guard could help here because it works against Snarl and that Hyper Voice.
It does. And now with 5 turns of rain left, and I think like 3 turns left of Trick Room and the Psychic Terrain. Like that Psychic Terrain, once it's gone.
Yeah, once it's gone, it's. Once it's gone because Indeedee is already off the field. Can't even consider it. Side spam is not even a consideration right now.
No, it is not. We see a U-turn come out on the Incineroar to break the focus
breaking
sash.
that focus sash, and so what will we see Farigiraf do to respond? Will it potentially Psychic to take out that Pelipper early on?
We see Ogerpon come out here.
Ogerpon coming out is very solid, especially because it itself actually helps from the game.
And we
from
got the
range.
Psychic.
And then the Psychic
And
is
it's
going to
enough
one-hit knockout.
because not only is that Throat Spray helping out the Farigiraf, but giving it that +1, Farigiraf is on the ground, and therefore it gets the Psychic
Oh, this
terrain.
Tachyon Cutter, 2 hits, but neither of them do any sort of damage to that Farigiraf.
So that was really impressive by Brady, identifying
And
the
here
focus
comes out the
tab.
T-Meister. What does T stand for?
I honestly do not
Trucks?
have maybe. Maybe,
I don't
but
know.
this is definitely going to be a very interesting setup here.
Should
as
be a very
the
interesting
Farigiraf
setup.
goes for the Psychic.
That should be a one-hit
This
knockout. I don't
is
imagine
probably
it, yup,
it is a one-hit knockout.
And I imagine an Ivy Cudgel will come out and probably take it. Yup.
There's the
I
Ivy
imagine it's
Cudgel
taking
into
care of
the
it.
Iron Crown. A bonk on the head, and
Yeah,
the Ogre
that's-
Pawn is down.
That is game 1 for Brady Smith. And
And the bonk made Iron Crown's head spin.
come on, man. Listen. We don't have insurance at this tournament, man.
Well, you may not have insurance. I might, but my premiums are way too high. My premiums are too high for bonks on the head. I don't
I don't know about those.
I don't have bonk coverage. Oh, but Brady just went off on that first game. Landed.
I don't think he dropped a Pokemon.
I think you're right.
I think it was. He started with what did he start with?
Incineroar. No.
He started with-
Ogre Pawn and Farigiraf.
And then he switched out Ogerpon into Incineroar to be immune to Expanding Force, and
I don't even think.
resist.
Yeah, I don't even think we saw the fourth Pokemon.
we didn't even see the 4th Pokemon. No, not at all. And I'm not surprised because he was in too good of a position to need to switch as much.
Exactly, and that Assault Vest on the Incineroar, like Janice going for that Terra Ground Terra Blast, and
Even with the helping hand,
Incineroar just bounced off. It was essentially like, I mean, granted, tonight is the WWE Royal Rumble. It's out here. It's out here in Tampa. It's like the Royal Rumble. One of those giant wrestlers. You literally just run at them and they just bounce off of you.
and that's Incineroar.
Incineroar basically no-sold the attack.
It definitely ridiculous coming from Incineroar because it even has Terra Grass, so it can like resist that ground, but it didn't need to.
It did not
need
need
to at
to.
all.
But we're going to see, can Janice Lee force a game 3 and give Brady only his 2nd game loss of the day? Or will Brady Smith earn the title of Cool Stuff Games Maitland January Premier Challenge Champion?
Let's see how it goes. They're still choosing their Pokemon.
All right, and we're
There we
getting
go.
ready, ladies and gentlemen. And we see a change up on Brady.
Oh,
in the
wow.
leading the Ogerpon and the Incineroar here, but Janice also changing it up, leading the Pelipper and the Urshifu.
Realizing that Brady probably had like, well, not probably. We saw it. Brady had answers for that Psy Spam. So, you know, Janice is definitely trying to figure out another way to get this done because she just needs to keep this alive somehow. Noticing a Terra Steel on that Urshifu. We've seen Terra Ghost earlier today. We've
We've
on-
seen a
usually on
couple
Urshifu.
of interesting Terras today, but also what's important to note is while there's no Psychic terrain, Incineroar can go for a Fake Out
It
potentially.
can go for a Fake Out, exactly.
But Brady activates his Terra Orb first, and it's going into the Ogerpon here.
Yep, I'm anticipating I'm making my call. I think it's a Follow Me. That's my guess because of that Hurricane being an issue.
I think you are correct there. As we do see the U-turn
Never
come out
mind,
into
there's
the
no
Ogerpon.
Follow Me at all.
But that's actually smart on Janice's side as she negates that attack drop from the Incineroar.
Yep, and that's really important for her in the end. Now we have the Arcaludon that, remember, it is not a Assault Vest, so it can still have moves like status moves. It has Protect on it. It has Electroshock, Protect, Dragon Meteor, and Body Press.
And it just got the stamina boost there by virtue of that Horn Leech.
Very
and Pelipper
big.
goes for the Tailwind.
So this is definitely like a better position than before for Janice.
And Incineroar goes for the U-turn as well. So Janice and Brady both going U-turns on one of their Pokemon.
Yep.
And in comes Farigiraf.
And what did Pelipper use? I do not remember.
Use Tailwind, so now we got the Tailwind
So we got
up.
the Tailwind up, and so now,
And there's the Follow
the
Me
Follow
on the
Me.
Ogerpon.
ooh, that's, we know what that means. Here comes a trick.
Oh, we got the Electro Shot coming
Electro
out.
Shot is coming out, and so is this going to KO that Ogerpon? It does have a special defense increase, but it still is weak,
It is
and it is enough
enough.
to take it out.
It is enough to knock out the Ogerpon. Brady's Terra is down.
So hear me out. If this Hurricane confuses and then
Farigiraf not attacks
so
himself,
hear me out,
30% chance to confuse.
and then
No.
no.
Unfortunately
confusion.
not. However, we saw that Janice's last Pokemon in the back is that Indeedee.
And
So
that is
it can-
very important for that Orcaludon.
to get that special defense boost.
Yep. And because that will probably help against the Ursaluna that is coming in right now.
However, here's the other thing. Janice does have that wide guard, and Ursaluna does have Hyper Voice as well.
Yep. We might potentially see Wide Guard, and our Caledon might actually go even for a Terra Grass. Who knows? Or there might be a switch that Indeedee for that Psychic Seed TOF.
That is very possible here. I mean, the other option is, Ursaluna and Farigiraf are definitely going to be the slowest Pokemon on the field, but Pelipper will get one attack off, assuming that Farigiraf doesn't go for a Hyper Voice alongside the Ursaluna.
So our Caledon's going for Protect. So what is Pelipper going to do?
Ursaluna goes for Blood Moon,
Blood Moon
into
into
the
that
Archaladon.
And so the Archaladon's going to be sitting pretty right now. And so the Hyper Voice coming out from the Farigiraf.
And I think that's a real good play on Janice's side, because now by the Throat Spray activating, she could technically go for a potential Wide Guard on the next turn. But let's see, will this do enough? Ooh, over 50%.
and a confusion.
There's
That
a
is
confusion. That
huge.
is big.
So, confusion, potential chance for, like, straight up nothing to happen. It's very important for Janice right now. And so, here's the thing. This is kind of a mind game right now, because if Brady uses Blood Moon into that Archaladon and it doesn't Terra, then it's going to be resisted. But if it uses the Earth Power into it and then it does make the Terra, then it's going to also be resisted. So it's just
Exactly.
it's a 50-50 for each of them, and we see that Janice is opting to hope that it goes for an Earth Power.
As you see the Terra Grass come out here on the Archaladon, and Pelipper goes for the Wide Guard strategy, potentially trying to bait out that Hyper Voice. Ursaluna is the slowest Pokemon. Will it attack?
Oh, it hit
it
itself
hit
in confusion.
itself.
Wow.
It hit itself in confusion. Farigiraf goes for the Psychic.
Being wary of that Wide Guard, of course, and you know, can't blame you for that. That's very important in this situation. Electro Shot instead of what are the other moves? A Draco Meteor to potentially take out that Ursaluna.
But this is now a +2 Archaladon.
This is +2, and that is
going to be enough, and the Farigiraf is down.
so Janice is now going to be able to take out, bring out her Indeedee, or even the Urshifu. But personally, I don't think the Team Meister is really good in this Trick Room environment.
I don't think so either, but now with that Indeedee out, and it does have Follow Me too.
It does, and here's the thing: how many turns left of Trick Room do we have? It's got to be almost over by now. It's got to be close.
I think it's getting kind of close.
So here's the thing: if there's only like one more turn Trick Room left, you could potentially just protect with Archaladon and just bait out that Trick Room, and then you know, pretty solid position for Janice to be in.
Yeah, we only
And
have.
that's what she's going to check. Yeah.
She's gonna try to go for that Follow Me strategy here.
So I'm assuming that Trick Room still has one more turn of being active because we are going for that. We are seeing that Follow Me strategy instead.
Now
Trick
looks
Meteor onto the Assault Vest Incineroar. That
At
is-
+2, that's going to be a very crazy thing. But Incineroar is slower, so it can get a
Oh,
snarl
and is
off.
the confusion going to hit itself again?
It does
It
not.
does not.
Gets the Hyper Voice off.
Wow.
Good damage on both. But now this is going to be a potential.
U-turn.
Oh,
That's-
that's very interesting.
Possibly just going for solid damage in general right now. Draco Meteor.
Gets the
Does
Draco.
that get the kill?
It does
Wow.
not. Oh my god. And the rain stops. So now the Ursaluna can go for another Hyper Voice here.
Yup, it definitely can. But here's the thing: is Trick Room still active? Because if Trick Room is active, then Ursaluna's definitely going first. Could hit itself in confusion, but it could also snap out of confusion. I feel like
It's
at
ver-
this rate,
At
at this rate, it probably could.
It's very possible at this point, Landon.
So here's the thing: it has the body press option because it's been boosted a bit. It's been boosted a bit through those stamina boosts. So
And
Ursula
Ursula
snapped
snapped
out
out.
of confusion
Goes
and
for
it goes
Hyper Voice.
Voice.
That's a good play on Brady's side. He gets the Hyper Voice off, and now Indeedee cannot do anything because Indeedee is now fainted. It's a 2v2.
So here's the thing: I believe Trick Room goes out this turn. So I think Janice actually has it. I think she has this game.
If it ends this turn, it might very well be it.
Yup, and it ends this turn. So that definitely Team Meister coming in.
That is a big play on Janice's side, recognizing that the Trick Room ended and making sure that her Pokemon stayed alive.
Surging Strikes in the body press just guarantee a win. And that is probably the game. One hit from Surging Strikes takes out that Ursaluna. And all we have is this, like, 2 HP Incineroar who looks like it's about to go out.
Presumably, the body press
Body
comes
press
out,
does
and it
come
is
out.
a
It takes
KO
it
on
out.
the Incineroar. And that
Wow.
is only the second game that Brady has dropped.
So, but here's the thing. This is the finals. So we're going to a Game 3 in the finals at Cool Stuff Games Maitland for your Premier Challenge January.
What better way for a finals?
What better way to end? Exactly.
What better way? We had a best of 3 in the finals at Charlotte. We have a best of 3 in the finals here in Orlando.
Yep. And
That bodes well for Knoxville next week.
I was going to say, hey, does Fergraf come on top again? But Fergraf was on both sides last time, so
Exactly.
it's whatever.
Well, actually, now let's wonder: can Farigiraf do what Hisuian Arcanine did and just start winning regionals back to back to back?
True, because, yeah, that's what Arcanine was doing. It's ridiculous.
That was an amazing comeback by Janice to force that Game 3. She piloted everything perfectly. I'm so happy for her to force a Game 3. I'm so happy for Brady to be in this situation. One game, one fall to the finish. Just what you want in a Pokemon battle, Landon.
And so, yeah, it's also great that Janice recognized that her side spam strategy wasn't working, so she just stopped using it for the second game. And that was great adaptation by her.
Exactly. And we're going to get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Who is going to win, Brady or Janice? We see Brady lead with the Ogerpon and the Farigiraf, and Janice leading with the Indeedee and the Urshifu. I think she actually led 3 different times each.
3 different leads every single time. Consistently different leads. That is certainly something. So here's the thing. Surging Strikes is definitely not the greatest option in this situation because of the fact that Ogerpon has Follow Me. And we know what Ogerpon's ability is. It has that Water Absorb. So it'll just not do anything.
And also, by virtue of the Water Absorb, it can follow me any Surging Strikes potentially, but
The Terra Steel coming out from the Urshifu.
that is going to be big on Janice's side. Turn 1 Terra Steel and the Helping Hand. So now this Urshifu is locked into whatever move it clicks. It clicked Close Combat. And Ogerpon
Wow.
survives!
That is an insane survival from Brady's Ogerpon.
And Ogerpon goes for the Ivy Cudgel into the Indeedee slot. Good damage there. And Farigiraf goes for the Trick Room. So now Janice has to think about what she wants to do here because Indeedee can potentially go for any attack into the Ogerpon slot.
It could just take out the Ogerpon right now, realistically, but
This Urshifu is locked into Scarf Close Combat.
yeah.
And
It's-
even with the Terra on it, being Terra Steel, it's Psychic Terrain boosted Psychic.
It's, yeah, and we still have the opportunity for the Throat Spray to come up, and that's just really good damage for Brady in the end game.
I agree entirely there, Landon. This is going to be a major
Helping
play right here.
hand again.
Another helping hand. Where's that Ogerpon going for, though? Farigiraf going for the Hyper Voice.
Wow.
Oh, my God. A critical hit.
hit.
A critical hit. That is a huge critical hit on Brady's Farigiraf.
But if Ogerpon targets that Ivy Cudgel into that Urshifu, that's just, that's going to take it out. But it looks like it's targeted into that Indeedee slot.
I do think I like that play right there.
Yep.
Being able to ensure that you get rid of the Psychic Terrain for the rest of the battle once it expires. But the close combat comes out on the Urshifu into the Ogerpon, and Ogerpon is down.
Ogerpon is down, so we have a Pokemon lost from each players in this set. In this Game 3 of Finals, it doesn't get better than this.
It really doesn't get better than this, ladies and gentlemen. As we see our Chaladon come out on the side of Janice, and she's going to get
Ursaluna.
that Psychic Terrain. Oh, but here is the bear.
Everyone's favorite bear.
Everyone's favorite bear. And that Urshifu is Terra Steel, so now Janice has a choice to make because both her Pokemon on the field right now are technically weak to a ground-type move.
And yeah, it's like, personally, if I was Brady, I would go for the Earth Power on that Urshifu because the fact that our Caledon doesn't really have any kill potential without these Electroshot boosts, you know? And
Exactly. I mean, the other option is potentially going for the Electro Shot into the Farigiraf, but I'm not even sure it can live this life or Earth Power.
Earth Power goes into that Arcaludon, and it's
a
a one-hit KO.
knockout.
Wow.
Oh my God, our Chaladon is down, and Janice is down to her last two Pokemon. Farigiraf
How much is this Psychic
goes
gonna
to
do?
the Psychic. It's a -2 with the Psychic Terrain. It doesn't
Wow,
go.
that is
Urshifu is down.
one Pokemon left.
Urshifu
for
is down,
Janice.
and Janice is down to her last Pokemon.
But it's just her little buddy, Pelipper.
It's her Pelipper.
It's her pal Pelipper, and Pelipper does not
Pelipper
look...
with a dream.
Pelipper
Pelipper
with
with
a
a dream.
I do not think Pelipper has it in it. I think a Blood Moon and a Psychic are guaranteed because Pelipper doesn't even have Protect.
Oh, this is an amazing finals, ladies and gentlemen. Janice
And Janice, seeing the writing on the wall,
cancels
cancels
the battle, and Brady Smith is your Cool Stuff Games Maitland January Premier Challenge champion. Undefeated in Swiss, undefeated in the bracket.
only dropped 2 games.
Only dropped
one
2
in the finals.
games.
One, I believe he said the other one he dropped on the stream match in round 3. And it was to 2 crits.
Right. That was the critical hit game. I remember
Yep.
that. That was an amazing set by Brady and Janice. 2 incredible players just fighting it tooth and nail. Exactly what you want in a finals.
Yep, it was an incredible finals. Game 3, you know. There was a few oopsies along the way, but we make it in the end, and that's what matters.
And how about that Ursaluna?
That Ursaluna.
That's a +1 special defense. And the Life Orb said, you know what? Goodbye.
Yeah. It's that Ursaluna was placed incredibly well by Brady, and that placement just definitely won him the game, especially in Game 3, because that one hit on Arcaludon and that Psychic takeout on that.
Now we also
Urshifu?
have to keep in mind that that Urshifu was -2 special defense.
True.
But Farigiraf still had the Psychic Terrain boost, so there's a lot of extra.
There's a lot of things to consider, but
But that critical hit was huge.
critical hit
was
indeed huge in the end.
It makes you wonder, would that critical hit not, like, let's just say hypothetically there was no critical hit on that Hyper Voice, would a +1 Psychic in Psychic Terrain knock out a Terra Steel Urshifu at -2 special defense?
I think it possibly could have, because the fact that then at that point it's just, think of it this way, neutral damage, no drops, because it gets to half. So that's what you got to think of it that way. So
and Urshifu doesn't have the greatest special defense.
doesn't have the greatest special defense at all.
Otherwise, it'd be able to live any Fluttermane hit. we say we say with a lot of facetiousness because nothing,
Yeah.
almost nothing is living off Flutter
nothing
Mane.
lives off Flutter Mane. Like it's it's ridiculous. So Brady piloting all of these Pokemon very well. Double Ghost, double Normal. It was Fire, Water, Grass with it just between two Pokemon, Incineroar and Ogerpon. Great team from Brady. Great plays from Brady. All around.
Now,
It was
now
amazing.
which Pokemon do we need to give the event distribution to? Which Cherish Ball Pokemon?
Think the Ursaluna Blood Moon.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like a Cherish Ball Blood Moon or something.
I would like a Cherry Ball Blood Moon for sure.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you very much for joining us for the Cool Stuff Games Maitland January Premier Challenge. Congratulations once again to our two finalists, Brady Smith and Janice Lee, and our champion, Brady Smith, getting his win right after placing in the top 32, or top 64, I think is what he said, at Charlotte. I forget which one.
He was up there.
He was up there. He made day two.
He made day two.
He made day two. I remember that. But congratulations to all our trainers. We look forward to seeing you guys for our next Premier Challenge here in Florida. Stay tuned, and we will see you guys next time.